land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. I will curse, and all people on earth will be blessed through you. And he said, in this passage, God instructs Abraham to leave his homeland and his family to journey to an unknown land that God revealed to him, promising blessings and making Abraham's descendants into a great nation. Very interesting. Let's stay here. Listen. Let me ask this question. I still stand by my question. Is Abraham case our case?
Yes. Because we are the descendants of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that the Bible actually depicts of the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there for us to also elaborate on.
Mm-hmm.
That is to meditate on and then also work on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if Abraham was told to move out and then to another country, an unknown land, it's clearly telling us that when we are married, I mean, we are supposed to set off from the family house. We are the descendants. So once we are descendants, it's like a generation. And that's a good generation to follow, because biblically it proves how Abraham was a man of all nations. So, I mean, moving out from the house is very important, just as God told Abraham to do. So this is our case. When it comes to our case, or when it comes to this very era, people are still staying in their family house. And I don't think if it is being placed on percentage, I think 90% are out from the family house when married, and maybe 10 or the one remaining will be the ones that are still there. Yes, because now even with this kind of digitalization, there's so many technologies and everything. I mean, I'm not sure that people will still be, but I think the 10% there could somehow be someone who has structured some things down. Maybe is trying to build up a project, waiting for it to be finished before maybe they move. So that's going to the 10%. So I think that in this very era or this generation, we are still abiding on the message or the contents of where Abraham was moved out. Yes.
Well, statesman, is Abraham case our case? She's trying to convince me, but I still hold to my point. Is Abraham case our case?
Oh, okay. Abraham case is our case because the Bible stated it that move from your father's house. Earlier on from the discussion, I said you have to move from your comfort zone. When you look at the Bible, Abraham's father, or let me say the house of Abraham, they were an idol worshippers. And secondly, maybe there were some people who would be around Abraham that would cause him not to shine.
Okay.
So the Lord said, move. And move to, he didn't give him the location.
Okay.
So with this, let's bring it to this marriage issue. You are in your father's house and you are going to marry. Maybe there was this person who said, I'm not okay with this lady you are bringing to this house.
Okay.
That person has said it before. And now, by prayers and stuff, you've went in for that lady, and now you are in the house with this same person. Do you think peace will be in the house? Peace wouldn't be. Peace wouldn't be. So I think with Abraham's issue, same implies to us. You have to move. If you don't move, there is no way you benefit.
Okay.
Because there will be that one person who will always be sabotaging you, doing things for you to say, oh, I'm fed up, let me leave and go. You move by your own self. Yeah, so don't wait for somebody to sack you.
Okay.
Before you experience that blessing, you have to move. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice point. Very, very, very educative. But let me make this statement. You cannot make a family in your father's family, or you cannot make a family in your father's house. You can only make a family when you are ready to make a family. So I see to it this way. God needed Abraham to establish a whole generation on his own. Now, in every marriage, there is a new generation. And in every...
Yeah, I've seen your questions.
and then in every family, there is a new blessings. That is why some time ago, Revenue Tsunami said something. He said, you can still be praying that you are coming out of that curse that your fathers had established. Because within your father, there is a family that has been established. Now, to you as a married person and you left the house, you have the privilege setting a new family. And setting a new family is when you have left that location of the old and you are going to a new location. So in Abraham, he said, leave that country. Go and establish in another country. Leave that house and go to another house, which is the same as a different country. Now, in this case, it tells us that God had the purpose of Abraham having a new generation. That will be a blessing. So before we even came to leaving the father's house, he mentioned the blessings. What I will use you for. Meaning that in every home, there is an instruction and a revelation given to a person. But you know what? I want us to get it this way. Do we marry with a revelation, but we marry with feelings? For us to leave the family house, do we marry? Because when we look at Abraham's case, he married, he left with a revelation, but not of a feeling. If we look at the narration well, so that's why I ask, is Abraham case our case? Because in these days, if we are to marry, we will look at the spectrums and other stuff, and then the feeling aspect has to come in before we get into that intimacy of marriage. But we don't marry based on revelations. So I want us to get this understanding critical and very well. Do we marry with a revelation or with a feeling compared to Abraham's case and to our generation?
Okay, let me come in. My question is, how many Christians do even pray much about their marriage? I saw this lady and I felt something for her and I think she's mine. That is last. Because you saw someone just now, you took her contact. Now a friend, like, I like you, I want to marry you. What do you know about the person? So, whatever it is in your mind, that is what you dream about. Okay. So you dream that, oh, you are getting married to this woman. Then you're always thinking about her. Then you go and tell a man of God, oh, man of God, please, I've seen this lady, and I think this lady is my wife. I think this lady is my wife. So when this man of God says, oh, after praying, what I heard, this woman is not yours, then that person will stop the church. Because to that person, he or she has seen that person in a dream getting married. Means what that man of God should say is to also second him or her. Okay. And so if that man of God says, oh no, this person is not yours, then I'll stop the church. So most Christians are getting married now because of some physical things they've seen, or let me say that person is wealthy enough, so let me get married to that person. Most people are in some marriages now, they are not happy. Their husbands are rich enough, but they don't give their wives money. But when they go out, they give to others. So people will be like, hey, your husband there is very good. Oh, I wish I had a man like him. But you particular, sitting with him, waking up with him, doing everything for him, you don't benefit. So that is when you don't pray about your marriage. That is where you fall into. So per your question asking that, is it, please your question again.
Do we marry now is based on revelations or based on
Yes.
feelings?
So now most Christians are getting married because of feelings.
Feelings.
Yes, and their physical, the lady's physical appearance, like the specs, maybe she's hipsy, or her forehead looks nice to him. Just the forehead. So I think when I get married to her, our kids will also have that forehead. Somebody also say, oh, the lady is very intelligent. Maybe the lady is hairy. Somebody will say, oh, like the way you talk, I think that is nice. I have to get married. Like everybody is having, I think maybe out of 10%, maybe those who pray much about their marriage will be like 3%. Because it is not easy to wait upon the Lord. It is not easy to wait upon the Lord. Abraham, whom God promised that you will be the father of all nations, yet he did an error. He committed, how do you call it? There was a mistake there. He wasn't able to wait, so he went in with his servant, and later Ishmael came in. So it is not easy to wait upon the Lord. So when they fast and pray and they don't hear anything, I think this woman is my wife. Let me go in. Then after the marriage, boom, this collapse.
Madam Love, what is your take on this? Do we marry based on revelations, comparing to the era of what God promised the servant and to us?
Thank you very much. I will say that, okay, I want to add something to what my brother said because I agree with him. And I'll also say that this era, people are marrying based on what they see. So it's no longer revelation. But I will not classify all of these aspects or all of this message on, let's say, everyone is like that. Most men, and I will say some men, wait on the Lord. Some men have the tendency to wait, or also sometimes go to their spiritual fathers and also make some kind of compliments or inquiries to their papas to also support them in prayers. So most of us now, this generation, are getting married based on the features, the structure, the beauty. And then when these attractions are gone, then they see that they didn't marry right. And the most aspect of this all is love. Most people are not marrying because of the love. Most people look out for how rich the person is, worthy, can speak well, and then have the the courage or the how do we call this? From the fame side. You know, a friend can tell me that I want a guy who is having Avon before I will settle with him. If you are not having a car, I will not settle with you. So I mean, some of this generation are looking out for this aspect from a man or a woman before, but they are not really into the revelation side. But I also want to know, what if someone also followed the revelation and at the end failed? Some followed the revelation and then end up failed. Sometimes it can be like, I had a revelation that this person I was supposed to marry. I prayed, fasted, did many things, but on the road I realized this person wasn't the one for me. Yes.
It's
So
I love the fact you brought that.
yes.
I think that, listen, Many of the revelation people talks about, I had a revelation marrying this lady. It is not the kind of revelation we see and we talk about. You get it? Somebody prophesies and say that I have seen you marrying this girl. Doesn't mean that that is a revelation. Okay? That is the word of knowledge. Okay? That God, that may be the intuition of that person had brought that word. You know, we have the intuition, we have the Spirit of God, we have your soul, we have your body. Before you can hear from God. So without the intuition, it's very difficult to hear from God. The intuition will now drop the knowledge. Then, all that is a prophetic side. But one thing I want us to understand here is that when God gives somebody a revelation concerning someone, that this person, you have to marry this person. This person is the one that God had revealed to me. It does not necessarily mean I'll go and marry the person. You know, sometimes we listen to that and we are overcome by other spirits. Now, the man of God can see today and tomorrow sees another revelation. That is why I keep on telling people that when you are free with your spiritual fathers and you have a relationship, consistently goes to your spiritual fathers. Don't go once and say that I have shown this person to my spiritual father. As soon as my spiritual fathers prayed, there was a revelation that we are getting married. The moment you live in where your spiritual father is, there is another revelation that has to be known. I think I and Stedman, we communicated this to one time we were going home. So there is this point we must understand. It is not all revelations that are established. There are some revelations that are unfinished revelations. Like you can be praying, you close your eye. You see something. Because you are praying about it, you suddenly open your eye and disconnect your spirit from that revelation. You haven't finished that revelation. So one thing I want people to know, Abraham had this revelation by himself, not by somebody. That's the mistake we do today. So at the end of the day, you follow someone's revelation, you will crash. Because the revelation that have been given to the person only said it. But there are rules and revelations, or there are rules concerning that revelation. You didn't hear those rules. So you were tempted because you already had that feeling and that exams with the person. So that is it. No, have a personal revelation after the revelation had been introduced to you. Pray that, oh God, let me have a personal revelation. Let me see this myself. Let me have this myself. And I believe that with that, God will enable you to have that revelation. With that, you are okay to go. If you look at him that it was revealed to him, he had to go and sleep with, isn't it? Sleep with, I think, a maid or, yes. So, it is not easy. I believe that every young person listening to us, that you want to get into bank. Even if you think that the word prophet gives you a revelation, please go and pray about it. Have a personal encounter about it before you can get it. Because you are not marrying because of that prophecy. Many marry because of a prophecy and they are dying because of a prophecy. Yeah. Many people are crying because of a prophecy today. Yeah. And I have seen several cases like that. A prophecy is not enough to conclude your marriage. Do personal investigations about. Now, I can say, I have seen you marry this person. And at the end, so I always say that when I see this kind, I don't talk about it because it is a dynamic something. You talk about it today, then tomorrow there will be another revelation. And another man of God will say that, I saw this. And that person will now be confused. Who to marry? Now why confused? So I believe that have a personal revelation, a personal relationship with God to know who to marry than somebody telling you who to marry.
Okay, so this draws on to many men of God in ministry, whereby they wait on the Lord, they pray to have their future partners, but yet still, these same partners that they prayed, fasted on, becomes an obstacle on their way in the ministry. They waited. Yes, they prayed. They emphasized on the revelation. And sometimes they sometimes go overboard. I mean, fasting for the ladies, taking out some fasting on the ladies' day of birth and all those things. I mean, But yet still, these men of God face many challenges. And like you said about Abraham, Abraham was had the revelation, sorry. And then there was a challenge on the way where he had a maid. Had to go and sleep with a maid. So I think this all was infrastructured on the way. There are challenges that we sometimes see on our way. It doesn't mean that God has promised you gold. But before you will get the gold, you have to work for it. And that is sweating, going through the challenge, the trials, and then every temptations to get that gold. Because it is deep down the earth. It's very, very, very far. So most people struggles in the marriage not because the revelation wasn't true or it was false. But what I really realized and prayed and saw was that you can't just it's part of the process. When God give you a smooth sail to that marriage, why is your testimony? Last time I was listening to Victoria Orenze and was saying some things, talking about the relationship, the marriage issues and other things. He said to the congregation where he was having a program, and it was like, if you had seen me years back, you wouldn't have invited me to this platform for me to come and preach or sing to you, because you would tag me as a divorcee. My husband was going away and I was saying, I am clinging to the ring. I'm not letting go. I'm not doing this. There was a prophecy. There was this. There was that concerning the marriage. But below, and then everything dropped. So, emphasizing on ministry, marriage, and everything in this life comes with a challenge. And I think if we are to talk much about this, then we will say that people in ministry suffers in their relationships.
No.
That is where I want us to really talk about, because people in ministry are really suffering. Some pastors are crying. They are in their homes
Some.
dying. Some of them, yes, they are dying. They are crying.
It's like you are kneeling on someone.
No, I'm not. I'm serious. Because, it is true. It doesn't mean that they didn't have the revelation. They had it. They fasted. They prayed. But why did they go through, or why are they going through these very challenges? It means that it is part of the process.
Okay.
It is part of making you that person that God has made you to be. How can you become a counselor or a pastor when you don't have an experience?
Okay.
When you are applying for a job, they ask you of your experience. And sometimes they can even look at your resume and say that you don't have much experience, so we are not picking you. So all these are part of the ministry or the marriage. It doesn't mean that someone hit the head, the husband threw him or her, out, or anything of that sort. Then that's because they didn't pray. Some pray, yes. Some really pray.
I think
Yes.
they has just seen at that time. He says something about it to them. He says, yes, go.
You see the way I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Because some other time ago, I think we closed from studio going home. Yeah, we were discussing about this.
Yes, I remember.
Most men of God are really suffering
Yes.
in terms of relationship.
Okay.
And I still don't know why. I pray I don't fall a victim though. Because it's very painful
Very.
for you to serve God and go through something like this. I don't know whether it is part of the plans God has for them. But let's come back to what we started. It's like we are deviating.
We are not deviating.
Yeah, it's like we are deviating.
It's not deviating.
We are deviating from what we started, because we started from you leaving your father's house. It's like we are now hitting on.
It's part of the question that he asked.
I know.
Yes, so he's not deviating.
Listen, I'm coming to a point. Wait,
This is emphasizing on
wait,
revelations.
wait. You have to understand me, Lady Love. I'm not saying we are deviating as in changing the topic. I want to land on a point that, you see, we started with this, but as time goes on, it is going here, coming here.
That is how.
So I want to come back and end it that once the prophecy is in, that it doesn't mean that this person has done this, so she or he is not the right person. That is what I want to come back to. You see, we started with this. We've moved here. We've discussed about this. Talked about this. It doesn't mean we've stopped or like, yeah. Have you got into what I'm saying?
No, like you are trying to shift your course. The question was emphasizing on revelation. It's part of the
thing
topic.
is that
So
the point here is that the point here is that the point here is that if God gives you a revelation, that's what I'm saying. He said, see, leaving your father's house was a personal revelation Abraham had with God. You and I, it's very difficult to have a revelation concerning this. There is a question here we have to answer. Now, it is very difficult to have a revelation because we quietly pray concerning our relationships. Now, listen. The reason why you are seeing that some men of God are suffering is not, I wouldn't say, let me say many Christians are suffering. Do you know why? Because we are disobedient. It is not everything you have to experience. I listened to Prophet Kofi Odru, T, and then the wife, Dede, my Dede, Mama Dede. We will call her Mama Dede, but Prophet Kofi Odru will call it my Dede. Now, one thing I learned from Prophet Kofi Odru is that he said when he was getting married, he made open to the people around him. And then he had more than, I think he said around, I stand to be correct, about 10 people on the list he was praying about. Listen, 10 people he was praying about. That God, give me one of this, give me one of this, give me one. Because he had his spec, he has his everything. He said he never came in mind to marry my Dede or Mama Dede. It never came in mind. Till later on, he saw that all that he wrote, got him disappointed and answered. So he now saw that even Dede was somebody, Mama Dede was somebody who was a worker in the church. Listen, he made that decision. He prayed about a group of people. It never worked. Okay? It doesn't mean that everything you praise about works. Probably he might have a revelation some time ago that these 10 people, by all means, I'll marry one. But in the revelation, it wasn't clear. Meanwhile, it was somebody outside the list. One thing I want us to understand is that leaving of our father's house, we must not just leave our father's house. We must have a direction towards where we are leaving to. Now, I went to a certain community and I was praying with a certain family. The Lord told me to tell those people to leave that community. You know what? And when I came to the understanding to talk to them, they told me that what I said was true because their community, nobody leaves the community successful. And it's very difficult to see somebody building. And the community is not good like that too. You get what I'm trying to say? So, even where to even rent an apartment as a married person, you must know where to. And I believe that it is not good for a young man to live in your father's house and marry. No, I think it is. To me, it sounds disrespectful. Do you know why? You, as a believer, you are bringing somebody's daughter to your family house. Although it is believed in our culture that as soon as the person is married to you, the person is married to the family and all that. It is but you know what? When the person is married to you, the security of the person, you get it. You going to work. I know many homes when the father, as you said, when the father and the mother do not agree for you to even marry the person, and because they have their own, spectrums and other stuff for you to marry the person, and then you don't marry that person, you marry another person, it becomes a whole sort of thing. So one thing I want, as I say, please, we will answer your questions. One thing I want us to understand here is that for you to marry, invest in that marriage. Investing in that marriage does not necessarily mean that your wedding ring and all that stuff. I saw a marriage ceremony on Facebook today. I wowed. I think it is on this page. It says Gospel BBBB, something like that. I'll go and search it. I'll download it. Now listen, it is between the lady the guy, and then what they call it, the family, the mother, the father, the mother, and the pastor, the pastor's wife. That's all. And the marriage was so good to the extent that the lady smiled gorgeously. The guy was so much happy. They got married. Listen, at the end of the day, they will not go and live in an uncompleted building.
Yes.
Because they didn't invest in their rings. They will go and buy 20,000 rings.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They will not go and rent a Range Rover. They will not go and, so as soon as you know that after doing all this, it will cost me, what do you have to do? Spend time in your living. Spend money in your living rather than. So I think that with the young men, listen to it. Don't live in your father's house and marry. It will very deep. You know, I know this a counselor, Mrs. Charlotte Odru or something like that. She said something that they have to leave and then go and stay in the church and all that. God has a way of lifting his people, but it all depends on your personal relationship with God. So the question here is that Asasi is asking us a question. Benjamin Asasi said, I have a question. I want to ask. Is it good? No. A believer is good to be. No. Is it good for a believer? As a believer, is it good to be in a relationship? And how long as a believer to be in a relationship before marriage? Because some churches don't allow or support it. So is it good for just about 1 minute? Let's go. Is it good for a believer to be in a relationship? And how long should it take?
Be in a relationship as in you studying each other or courtship.
Let's put it in general. Because
Okay,
it wasn't
so-
specific.
So if it is courtship, I don't think it is allowed. Because you cannot be in the house of God and be in that courtship also. Because you'll be fornicating under the grace.
You are saying that it's not good to be in the house of God
And being in
as
that
a child of God,
courtship-
as a believer,
Yes.
to be in courtship.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
How will
why.
they marry?
Say-
How will they marry?
yeah.
Without courtship.
So if you want to marry, you see the church leaders. They have a process. It's not that you go and stay with the person.
But courtship is not staying with the person.
Oh, some people in Ghana now, the courtship there is like marriage.
No. No, let's not put it in the modern, a modern way of answering it. Let's answer it per fact. Yes,
But it's not good.
it's not good
Yeah,
to
as
you
a believer, yeah, it's
to
not
be
good.
in relationship.
Yeah, it's not good.
As a believer, it's not
Yes,
good.
when you want to marry, then you should start a process and pray.
Start in the prison. Continue.
Please, it's good to be in a relationship, and it shouldn't be on the other aspect of a relationship where you go sleeping with a lady and other things.
Okay.
But relationship is also as even God, you don't know him, but you have a relationship with him.
Okay.
We do. So having a relationship with somebody is not bad.
Okay.
And so you have to have that relationship with the person. And this relationship is to get to know the person well, to know what it is entails or what is about that person you want to be clinged to.
Okay.
Yes. So being in a relationship is very, very
Very
vital. Yes.
So,
to
Apostle,
be able
please.
to study the person.
Okay.
And,
Let me
yes.
come in within 30 seconds. I think you can be in a relationship with that person, but you guys should be platonic lovers.
Okay.
Platonic lovers as in sharing ideas, making sure we care for each other, but sex shouldn't be part.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
I'll end my words.
So the point here is that, as I say, I don't know the church you are talking about, but any church that do not support that means that they don't encourage a good marriage. Listen, as a believer, you are supposed to be in a relationship, be with the person, study the person, get to know the person. Now, you can start from friendship, then from friendship you graduate to dating, from dating to courtship, from courtship to marriage. That is how it is. That's the process. So it depends on the person. It depends on you. Some take it 6 months. Some churches will say that date for 6 months. Some will say that date for 1 year and all that. But I believe that it depends on you. Some had dated for 7 years, they married successfully. Some also had dated for 6 months, they married and it has collapsed. Some dated for 3 months, their marriage is still at work. Some also, it is not working. So what I want to know is, what I want to tell you is that it depends on the two of you. There is no doctrine that tells you that as a believer, date for this month or no. Maybe a church may have its own formula of a doctrine, but I don't believe that. Personally, I don't believe that. I believe that you can be in a relationship, study the person with friendship and all that, and then later on you graduate to relationship from dating, and then from dating you graduate to what they call it, courtship. Then courtship, if you see that person is good, you marry the person. But don't just jump and say that, oh, pastor, I want to marry this girl. Okay, no, I know. The best thing is take your time, and it will help you. Any church that do not support this, I don't think it is a right doctrine. Thank you. The second question is that another question, please. Is it good as a person with a partner being a relationship started with washing things, cooking for him, buying things for her, pay her school fees? If it's not, how can one live in a relationship? Hey, statement.
Why are you saying it's marriage? That is not a relationship.
That is not a relationship.
Yeah.
That is marriage.
Because let me say, Madam Love is my friend.
Okay.
And like me paying her fees.
Okay.
Oh, I think you've gone an extra mile.
Okay.
You are now a father.
Okay.
That is very bad. It is not advisable to do that.
Okay.
But it depends. Sometimes you can see that, oh, this relationship will go far.
Okay.
Or like this person, I'll definitely get married to her.
Okay.
That one is different. But like you've seen someone in this mere relationship, dating stuff, and then that one there, I think
it's not advisable.
Yeah, it's not advisable.
Okay.
Okay, so my take is being in a relationship with somebody, going to wash, cook, and then lay in bed for the person is not advisable. And also paying the person's fees and then doing other things for the person, some way it is a support you are giving to the person.
Some
And
way,
that
explain
is-
that some way.
Okay. That is, you are in a relationship with a person,
Okay.
and maybe something happened, you're supposed to pay the fees or something, and then you are trying to extend a support
Okay.
to the person.
Okay.
That is very good.
Okay.
It shows how
That
caring
is
you
nice
are.
of you
Okay.
also.
So, but don't let it be like a burden on you,
Okay.
because when you do it too much, it will become a burden on you.
Okay.
Yes, women can sometimes, naturally, women can be demanding, especially when you are giving in too much to it.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be 50-50.
50-50.
Yes. So the washing aspect, cooking and doing those
Not
things.
allowed.
Okay.
Sometimes they will say, woman, please come and wash for me and all those things. I think it is 0-0, 0-0. You shouldn't even try that, because that will even bring more lust. It will create so many things. You might think that you are doing that to win your partner, but on a third note, the next time you'll be doing that, you'll be on the bed. Thank you.
Okay, so personally, I think that this is my view. I think that in a relationship, it's not good for the lady to wash for you. Me personally, so nobody. Okay, one thing I want to advise the young men is that wash your own washing, cook your own cooking,
Cook your own cooking.
eat your own eating,
Pay your own
sweep your own sweeping, lay your own bed of
Bedding.
laying your bed, and then be that young person you are. This even create more value on yourself than the person coming to visit you I mean, on so ba obeshe a push and obeshe all those stuffs they are ba.
Or the 3 points.
Yes. Yeah, obepes obo when hips then other stuff. The first time you see say you kiss the person, and next time you say we shall say me no. And next time na that bed so. The next time now the eyes a juma na shall say. At the end of the day, you see, so Bible on our own person now we hu opeso giant pa no ntumi giant pa no the nyense bi abehyew. I just a DNA test na ante na na bejew. So one thing one thing I want to advise is that don't ever do that. Listen, it's good sometimes to help a lady in a relationship by giving her money to spend because of the condition sometimes she may find herself to be. Now, for instance, a lady that the parents doesn't support or senior high school or tertiary and a relationship with a person, I believe that one help that person as a sister, but not the person as you are in a relationship. Now, many people had committed suicide because of helping somebody. Okay? And we have some people who has always so regret and learned from the past of not helping. People call them stingy. They are not stingy. The reason is because they are building the future for the person. So I think that it is good to help the person in a relationship. And it's fine. And there's no harm in that. By helping in money and other stuff. If you are also in need, the person can also help you. It's vice versa. Sometimes it happens like that. But sometimes the person is just demanded. And then me phone naira. And then me papa I did see people not the hospital. So so you see, so all these things it is gameplay, but you can see so obi a serious or abrabum. You are just helping the person to come out. It is very good. So it is not all you have to help, but don't allow a lady to come and cook for you. Don't allow a gentleman to come and cook for you. Be yourself. If you want to study the person, go to the. So in the olden days, you go to the person's house. They will give you the permission, study the person. Another can say me. People were laughing at me. If I am dating and the person is around me, and the person is living in a compound house, even not in a compound house, one day I'll wake up for say a compound house. I'll wake up 4 a.m. Go and stand beside and as around the community. See say or pra. If it is a time for the you see this family house, yeah, what they say I see me in a pra. So if I see say this day it is your mom or your mom's side who is doing the sweeping, not ma shut up but that week no be so ma in a pra. Fine, no man note at all. The next time I'm in a pra note at all. Next time remember no man around 4 p.m. So on way beyond by that time I will still come around and see because I had the permission from the family to do that courtship with you. Remember I'm person when we are near because some of us say if you are doing something so one thing I'll advise that take your time, study the person and marry a good person you want to marry so that at the end of the day you will not experience many things in marriage. And then he said because some churches say that if you are not ready to marry for marriage, don't if you go for a relationship at least 6 months to a year. Yeah, it is true. It is true. It is true. It is true. But brother, yes, it's true. But sana yemu instrumental is one, keyboard is one, church boy is one. As of one kid one baby no every man. It is true. If a lady, if you think that this guy is not serious, don't marry. And don't always accept sex before marriage. Practice sex after marriage. Listen, yesterday around this dawn, around 1 a.m., a lady called me. I was doing something and I picked the call. And when I picked the call, the lady asked me this question. I say, Osofo, I have been in a relationship with this young man. And this guy always asks me for sex. Is this person a real person? And I asked, they've been in a relationship for how long? Say, for only 4 months. And I'm so yare. Drop that relationship. The reason is that it's not because of asking alone. I find out that the person is a church leader. And the person is not living by example. I find out that the person had per the conversation we had, mean that nipa no waye saade na sa. So according to the girl, this person had been in a relationship with more than 5 ladies. So with this perception, say, or asking for sex, that means that these 5 ladies who are used to means or no grab a seed person and still counting. So this lady, we spoke a lot, but one thing I want to say is that know who you are and know the person you are in a relationship with. So next, I think next month by this day or by this time, we will continue this topic. Next month by this time, we will continue, because next week we'll be doing declarations and prayers. So we will continue this topic. 3 weeks to come, or no, 4 weeks to come, we'll continue to this topic. So as a gentleman, it's very good to leave your father's house before marriage. Don't stay in your father's house and marry. Leave so that the Lord will help you. So I'll give them 1 minute to say their last words, then we go. Madam Love, your last words. Your last words, Madam Love.
Okay, I would say that don't get married when you don't know your partner well, and also the family aspect. Have to do some investigations about it. Know the family you are marrying into, and also please, don't build your family on the hopes of your partner's, parents, either being rich or being worthy. Move out from your comfort zone, that's your family house, and start up life, and the blessings of the Lord shall be restored upon you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Onche obianzo. Kuniku, the obechia na ne mi anazo de.
Me pacho, mechia obia oshe, and most especially my father, Apostle Owusu Amponsa, and to my biggest fan, my papa, Apostle Paul Adabogo, the anointed prophet. Amen. Amen.
Okay. Okay, so before I give my final word, I would like to wish my cousin Patricia Diodu.
Okay.
Yeah, happy birthday. Okay. Cousin, I love you. I love you so much. Okay. May the good Lord bless you. Okay. May He bless you. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to take you out, but I'll order some Burkina for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to our final words. To everyone who is watching, I think it will be very good for you to be prayerful than you watching the physical things in a relationship. So always be prayerful. Though you've seen this person that you think you want to get married to, but keep on praying. Keep on praying. And also, if it should happen, or after everything, the marriage has been done successfully, also keep praying for good, good fruit. Yeah, for it is not all who get married and give birth. But as we Christians, we all hope that after marriage, we all give birth. And also, be hardworking. Yeah, be hardworking. Be hardworking so that you see money. Yeah, you have to see money because you can't get married with this little stuff. Yeah, it's not easy. Taking care of somebody's daughter. And with somebody's daughter, you're also coming to add yours. Then it will be another family. So you have to be hardworking enough, before you build a home.
Okay, thank you very much tonight for joining us, Asase, Benjamin, and everybody who joined us tonight, and anybody who will join us later. It is good to marry. It's good if you want to be, except you want to be a Roman father, and there are forms you can pick one, and then go to that school as well. But we have refused to also become Roman fathers, and then it's good to marry. You can't become a Roman sister. As it says now, if you want to become one, the direction is there. But one thing I want to assure you is that with God, all things are possible and all things are working together for our good. Now, pray very hard when choosing a partner. Don't just choose a partner. Pray very hard and the Lord will help you. A shout out to all my fans and my big people on TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. I cherish, and then Apostle Kobikesi, everybody, all the apostles, Reverend Eric Akwa, everybody. But just to bring your notice to this, all the young people gathering is coming on. The young people gathering is coming on. It is coming on. The young people gathering is coming on.
It's coming on.
The brains behind it is coming out.
It's coming on.
It is coming out.
It is coming on.
It's coming out. It is coming. And then you know what? 27th of July is coming out. We have one guest song minister from Kumasi. She is coming. And then we have one prophet. One youngest prophet is also coming. So you can't miss this. You won't come, you have to come. Because it is free. And then the sponsors, the prayer room department, they are sponsoring this program. Yesterday, I was so. And then they were like, Stateman was there. Well, I'll support 200 cities. I'll support 100 cities. If you want to support it, please call us and send us your donations. We'll take it. And then the program is coming on. It is coming on. We are still creating the awareness. Share the flyers. And then your life will never be the same. God bless you. See you next week. This time as you join us in prayers. Follow us on Facebook, The Most TV. Follow us on TikTok, The Most TV. Follow me at Abogo Paul on Facebook. Follow me at Abogo Paul on TikTok. Let's connect there and your life will never be the same. See you. Bye-bye.